Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Queen's Table. It is Thursday again, and tonight's lovely, lovely guest is the lovely Alexandra Mount, and she is a Miss Eco UK finalist. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very good, thank you. I can't believe it's on Thursday again. The weeks are flying by.
I know, absolutely. Gosh, so far into the year now, it's just scary.
I know, we're in August already, so obviously you have your final in a couple of days.
I
How are you
know.
feeling?
So incredibly excited. I leave tomorrow morning and I finally get to meet all the girls. It's been such a long time coming, so incredibly excited. I've got a little bit of packing to do, but then all I can think about is just driving and getting there.
Oh, that's it. So how far's the journey for you to go up there tomorrow?
It's not too far from where I am. It's only about a 40-minute journey, so super, super easy. I know some girls are coming from Newcastle, so they've got a good sort of 3 hours to go. So I'm really lucky to live quite close.
That's absolutely fabulous. I'll tell you, that's like my dream to like have a pageant that close. Everyone that I do is literally, I only do the one, I only do Galaxy, but it's always between a sort of like a 4 and 5 hour drive, depending on traffic. I mean, when I went up that way the other week, it was an 8 hour drive because of the
Oh
traffic.
my
So
gosh.
40 minutes is like the dream, isn't it? So we'll get started then. So the first question I'd like to ask you is, why did you choose the Miss Eco United Kingdom pageant?
Yeah, okay. So for me, I've been sort of into sustainability and eco-friendly things since sort of 2019. I launched my sustainable fashion business at the end of 2019 and it just took over from there. I was always being introduced to new things. And I think when you sort of step in the door of anything eco, it opens so many other doors and you learn so much that you just want to do absolutely everything you can to help. And it just, it's taken over my life. But I just knew when I saw Miss Eco, I was like, that's the system that is just made for me. And I knew I had to apply straight away.
So it definitely sounds like it's perfect for you. So before this system, what's your pageant history like? What did you do in the past?
So this is my returning to the pageant scene. I haven't done one since, it must have been 2015, 16. And it was when, do you remember Face of the Globe? That was still about, and obviously that doesn't exist anymore. But I did, I think it was Miss GB, I did Miss England and Face of the Globe. So I didn't do too many, but I was so involved in sort of the pageant community back then. And I thought I was done. Saw Miss Eco, I thought, oh no, I'm not done.
It sort of pulled you back in. That's it. You found your perfect
It
one, isn't it? So, yeah, that's really interesting that you say that, because it's really nice when I see girls sort of coming back to it. I mean, I've only been in the pageant scene for 5 years, but I've known a few this year that I hadn't met before that did it in the past and sort of come back. And yeah, it's really, really nice. So one of them won actually, so that's even better, isn't it? She got a crown the other week. Yeah, it was fabulous. So, with eco, I mean, I expect you do lots and lots of things because of the style of the pageant. But what is your pageant platform?
So my platform, I have a different advocacy that I've chosen for just Miss Eco, but I would say my platform is simply sustainability. But my advocacy will be style and sustainability. So more of going into, the slow fashion movement and sustainable fashion. That's what I want to take forward because that's what I know the most about. And I thought that's the smart thing to do. And I just want to educate people on it and sort of say, this is what the fast fashion industry is like. And these are better options to do, and sort of try this. You've got organic, you've got thrifting, which is huge, and you find so many incredible things that you would never ever find anywhere else. And it's just, it's one of those things that I absolutely adore. My mother absolutely adores thrifting and going secondhand and things like that. And even things like renting. Obviously, a lot of girls will rent dresses from other queens now, which is amazing and so eco-friendly too, and saves a ton of money. Obviously, some dresses are well over £1,000. So it's so easy, I think. I don't think people realize just how many options there are. So I want to be that voice that helps them learn that.
So, like, if you like say new to pageants and you just wanted to learn a little bit more about your different ways of your outfits, so could you explain a little bit more, like more options, what you could do to obviously be eco-friendly with your outfits?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously renting is a super easy one, and there's a lot of groups on Facebook that obviously do sort of I mean, I think it's mostly dresses that I've seen, but fashion wear. I'm in a couple of groups that I cannot remember the names of off the top of my head, but they are all amazing pageant fashion that you can just rent from girls or buy secondhand from girls that are in pageants. So it's always gorgeous dresses that they've maybe only worn once on stage for, I mean, you're on stage for maybe a minute and a half. And I use lots of different sort of secondhand apps to find most of my clothing. And all of the clothes I'll be wearing at Miss Eco are secondhand. And if I've made any tweaks, I've upcycled them myself, taken them in myself, done all that sort of thing. But I use Vinted. I mean, Depop's another great one. Even eBay, Gumtree, you can often find lots of little hidden gems in there. Charity shops, another amazing one. Secondhand stores, great again. There's just so many more options now. Even sort of some stores are doing organic lines and things like that. Clothing made from hemp and cork and organic cotton specifically are so much better for our planet. So you don't even, if you don't sort of like secondhand clothes, which I know some people don't, you can still buy new, but buy new in a better way, which is your organic cottons, your hemp, your cork, and things like that. And I think there's even more coming on, like bamboo. They make sort of bamboo underwear and socks and things now, which again is fabulous. And I think we have started to make the right turn in fashion now, which is so amazing to see.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well. I mean, it's good to know because obviously some people don't like buying secondhand, which is fair enough. But it's good to know that there's options out there to have that choice that is more environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
But could you just tell us a little bit more why the fashion industry is so damaging to the planet? Because a lot of people do not know about this.
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things to me is fast fashion. When you think of big brands, I mean like Nike, I mean Primark, Pretty Little Thing, places like that. Boohoo is atrocious, but they don't pay their workers well, and they source all of their materials from countries that are so, well, poor, and the people that are working there are probably getting like 9 pence a day, and the working conditions are horrendous. So it's the ethical factors for those workers are so poor that even when these companies try and bring out these sort of sustainable lines, they're not, because it's the same workers making these clothes. They're not being looked after. They don't have any benefits working there. They're being underpaid. And quite often they're on the poverty line, which is just awful, obviously. And it's a lot to do with sustainability is the resources we use. So the fabrics they're using or creating, obviously a lot of polyesters have lots of microplastics in, so they won't break down, which then hurts our planet. And it's that mentality of fast fashion is, I'm sure they make something like, they have 52 micro seasons per year that they release, each company. So it's insane the turnover of clothing that these companies are adding to their sites. And just by going organic or shopping secondhand, you're cutting so much of that out. But it's the ethical factors, it's the resources they're using, the pollution they're creating. So it's so much better to go organic or shop for something that's already there and been used, or rent something so it's getting lots of use from lots of different people. Fast fashion is probably my pet hate in the world, and I try and avoid it as much as possible. But it's one of those, if someone buys you something for your birthday, I mean, my mum bought me this little jumpsuit for my birthday because it was last month, and it was a gift. You're gonna celebrate your gifts, and at the same time, if there's something you've wanted for such a long time, and I mean, I offset a lot of what I use, and I use Tree App to do it. So I plant a tree for free every day. So I say, well, I've covered my carbon for this year, which I have already. So I'm like, if I really, really want something, I'm going to allow myself to get it because I'm covering so much. I'm offsetting a lot of my carbon emissions. That's it. So it's, sort of learning what you can do to help. And it's things like that. Offsetting your carbon is amazing. There's lots of other groups that do it. And some amazing companies as well that you can sort of donate to. And they help you offset by cleaning the oceans, planting trees, lots of different initiatives. So it's things like that. If you are such a lover of fashion, do something to balance it out. Obviously, shopping sustainably is best, but if you are so sort of hardcore in love with, I don't know, Ted Baker or something like that, offset that carbon and you're still doing something to help.
That's really good to know. So you can sort of like balance it out. Everybody, if they look
Yeah.
into it, can balance it out in some way. I mean, for me personally, I'm completely with you. I love eBay. I love buying stuff off eBay. I love selling things on eBay. I will always recycle, recycle, recycle. And if not, I will put things in a clothing bag. I will take them to the charity shop. For instance, my stepsister's visiting this weekend. She's got a daughter 3 years younger than me. I think, yeah, about 3 years younger. And I've just saved all the clothes, put them in bags so they can all be reused. And, I'd like to try and do my bit. But I must admit, even at the beginning of the year, I wasn't aware how sort of toxic, shall we say, the clothing industry can be in areas. And it did shock me. And it was by watching like people like yourself, like Jessica from our team member or our team founder, just learning all about this was quite an eye-opener for me. But it is good to know you can do other things about it by cutting your carbon. So where would people go? Which sites would they go to learn about that, for cutting their carbon and balancing things out?
Yeah, well, the one I use is an app that you can get on your phone, and it's simply called Tree App, and it's completely free. And you every day you just plant one tree for free every single day for a year, and it tells you how much you've impacted your climate, how many flights you've offset, everything, and it's fabulous. I started using it at the end of last year, and I was lucky they actually made me an ambassador for them. So I rave about it to everyone. I'm like, it's free, do it. It will help you cut all of your emissions. And yeah, I mean, I am already over 100% for this year because I don't think I've ever missed a day. And it's so easy. It takes 2 minutes. And it's just one of those things that just add into your routine and you'll be doing it without even thinking.
Yeah, I think I'm going to join you on that. As soon as I'm going to get on my phone, as soon as I finish this, I think, and do that because it sounds fabulous. So you've got your final on Saturday, and it must be very exciting. But what have you been doing in the sort of lead up to the final?
Oh gosh, so much.
Quite a lot.
I mean, obviously we were meant to have our final in May, so having so many extra months, it's been a flood of everything. And I mean, some of the girls have made campaigns. One of the girls, Candy, did a meat-free Mondays of March, so I took part in that. There's been other girls doing plastic-free pledges. I've had a lot of conversations with Crown and Sashes, and I was part of their plastic-free July. I've been in the paper. I spoke to BBC Radio. It's been incredible. I mean, obviously I've been ambassadors for Tree App and ambassador for 4Ocean, and I was part of an ocean cleanup with them, which was amazing. I did that on my birthday, and it's been so amazing to have so many, not just queens but companies say, we love what you're doing and we want you to be sort of associated with us too. Would you like to do this? I've just been like, yes, I want to do that.
Yay. I love it. It sounds like you've done so much. So tell me about the meat-free Mondays. How does that help the planet?
So obviously a lot of vegan produce is, well, it was meat-free Monday. So Candy's initiative was to be vegetarian, but I am vegetarian anyway. So I said, I'll take it a step further and I'll do vegan Mondays. So I only bought plant-based every sort of Monday for the month of March. And so many of the plant-based items you get are purely from plants. So they take a lot less processing in a lot of cases. And the meat industry has so much pollution and obviously the ethics behind it as well. Obviously you're killing animals to eat meat and get meat, and I sort of haven't eaten some of the meats I stopped eating when I was about 9 because I was determined that I wanted a pet cow when I was 9, so I've never eaten a cow ever again. And
oh, I love
little miniature cows you can get, and I was like, oh, I would definitely have one of them in my house. But it's more just the pollution and the resources that it used to, raise cattle, rear cattle, and then sadly slaughter the cattle and then produce the meat. And so many times they have to chemically seal it as well, which is awful. Having anything chemicals to seal, it adds even more chemicals, even more pollution. So cutting meat is environmentally friendly and also friendly for animals and vegan.
Yeah, that's really good. And going back to liking cows, we did see your cow earlier on with nice sparkly eyes.
Very, very
again.
It was a gift from my mother.
I should have known then you like cows. See, that's it. They're fab,
Yeah.
aren't they? They are lovely. They're lovely creatures.
They are. They're gentle giants, is what cows are.
yeah, they are. They are gorgeous. So obviously, like you have been so busy. But how did you find lockdown affecting your appearances? How did you change and adapt?
It was obviously quite tricky. I mean, obviously we couldn't do anything in person, which was sad, and none of us have been able to meet each other, which I think normally I would definitely have done. I mean, a few of the girls I've made brilliant friends with them as like already, and I would have loved to have met them and done something, because we've had people celebrating birthdays in this time, and it would have been so nice to all get together, but we sort of hadn't had a chance because of COVID and restrictions. And campaigning, it's all been online, but it's been so good because so many girls have adapted, and there's still so many like campaigns to get involved with and movements. So it's not been as bad as I thought it would be, but it obviously has stopped any in-person events, which is quite sad, because I feel like that is such a huge part of the pageant community, and that's sort of been taken away. But it's been a really lovely year.
Oh yeah, you've done absolutely amazing. And I was looking at your Instagrams and your websites earlier, because you do have a few, and yeah, you really have put the effort in. It's been amazing. So you should be really proud of yourself. So when you do the pageant on Saturday, what is going to be your favourite round?
Oh gosh, so I love my evening dress, but I adore, and this is apparently quite strange, but I love the opening round. I love coming out with all of the girls together. It's so like just such a feeling of girl power, and when that adrenaline kicks in for the first time, I love it. And then you do a little dance and stuff like that. It's always been my favorite, and apparently no one else really favors the opening round.
Do you know what? You're the first person that I've asked that question and said that. But actually, the more you think about it, it is an amazing round, isn't it? Because it is just that adrenaline going, isn't it? Where you introduce yourself and everything like that. And you are the first person that said that, which I love, because it's a bit different.
Everyone said that. They're like, you're the first person to say opening round.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is. It's my favourite.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, I can say, thinking about it, it is such a great round, isn't it? Because you just got the crowd cheering, and everybody's just all psyched up, ready to go, aren't they? Because it's like, this is it, it's starting now, and it's really good. So do you have to wear specific outfits for your opening round? And
we do. So obviously our sash colours are gold and black. So half the girls are in gold, half the girls are in black. I'm in a black dress. So it will be sort of all the sash colours coming out on the stage. So I'm super excited for it.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. And obviously the Pageantland team will be down to support you all at the weekend. So you've got you travelling up tomorrow. So just a random question which I'd like to ask is, where would you like to see yourself in 5 years' time?
Oh gosh. I mean, 5 years' time, I'll almost be 30. And
really,
obviously, which it does scare me a little bit, I must admit. Turning 30 is sort of a new era, which will be interesting. But I feel like at 30 I would love to be the director of a pageant, and if it was something like Miss Eco, I feel like I would fall on my feet there, and it would be what I was meant to do. So I mean, if I was lucky enough to have the title, and then in 5 years' time, possibly help Molly Marie run the next one, it would be incredible. Seeing new girls coming into sort of the eco realm and things like that would be
I think that would be amazing. And what an actual perfect dream to have for 5 years. I think you'd absolutely smash that. You'd be brilliant at that, because you're really clearly in love with this system and how much it means. And you've got that sort of voice to educate people on these things a lot of people don't know, especially about the clothing and things like that. Because even I'm in my 40s and I wasn't aware of everything, the impact of the clothing industry and things like that. But like I say, this week I have been aware, so it's nice to have that voice and get people to make changes, because like I say, I'll be on the planting tree app this week as well, so it's fab. So with Saturday, what are you most looking forward to?
Meeting all the girls. I mean, I'll meet all the girls tomorrow, but it like I said, it feels so long ago since we all got added to like our little Green Queen chat, so it's such a long time coming, and I can't wait to meet them all, because there's such an incredible group of girls, and it really does feel like we're a sisterhood. So we're all so eager to meet each other.
So have you had like a little chat group for a year or so, and you've all been sort of chatting online? So is it a lot of the time you're going to meet each other for the first time in person?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had a couple of sort of video calls. I think some of the girls, I mean, there's been like sport rounds and things where we've seen each other just purely on the camera. So it'll be the first time we all get to meet in person, which will just be, yeah, absolutely amazing.
Oh, no, I'm so happy for you, and good luck for Saturday, because you are going to absolutely smash it. We'll be watching you and supporting you. And I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a different pageant. It's going to be really exciting. So we wish you all the best here at Pageantland. So thank you so much for coming on. So next week on Pageantland, we actually have our Pageantland founder. It's a special second birthday episode of Pageantland, so we're really exciting. So we've got that next week on Queen's Table at 7:30, and we'll be speaking to the lovely Jessica Barkley. Because it's the second birthday of Pageantland, make sure you definitely tune in, because that one's going to be a fabulous one. We're looking forward to that. So anyway, we are going to go now. We wish you all the best for next, well, couple of days time. I was going to say next week then, but it's literally 2 days. So anyway, you have the best time at the pageant, and we wish you all the best of luck. Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
much for having
much.
me as well.
Yeah, thank you.